When you're in a financially desperate situation, it's natural to want a fresh start. Pure economics has driven 260 million Indians to move to different parts of the country. Here are some of WTD's observations on rural to urban migration in India. Number 1. The very poorest people aren't migrants. The choice to move is thought of as some kind of income generating opportunity, rising from sheer financial desperation. But that's hardly the case. In rural areas, the poorest and the richest typically stay put, while the middle class go looking for a better standard of living. Number 2. Migration doesn't solve the standard of living problem. Sure, incomes in cities are higher, better structured and regular compared to villages. At this rate, you could possibly repay ancestral farmer loans and start getting legit loans too. But while migration may solve the money problem, it certainly doesn't solve the standard of living problem. Migrants have higher expenses in cities. They get the lowest paid 3D jobs and they all live in slums. Number 3. Migration doesn't solve the poverty problem. Looking at our urban poor stats, 26% comprise of migrants. That's over 70% of the migrants moving to big cities. Chances are that moving won't help pull a migrant out of poverty because the odds simply aren't in their favor. Over 41% migrants are guaranteed to stay poor because they are illiterate. FYI, a basic education could reduce this number to just 15%. Muslims and Hindus are less likely to climb out of poverty. Male migrants have 17% worse odds than female migrants. And you're doubly likely to remain poor if you are from a scheduled caste or scheduled tribe. Number 4. Seasonal migrants get the worst of it. Some migrants move to urban areas with the intention to stay. But they're not the ones we are worried about. It's the 1 foot here, 1 foot there migrants that need attention. As it is, the odds are against them. But they have nothing to cushion them from further vulnerabilities either. Okay, let me explain. In India, identity isn't portable. And this affects how seasonal migrants get, or should we say, don't get, entitlements. And laws protecting these migrants are few and far between. Which brings me to number 5. India's interventions aren't effective enough. Having such a large informal labor force in cities puts a serious burden on our resources. When millions are stuck in this trap, it's very difficult to escape without some divine intervention. We have the laws, but not the power to execute them, nor the scope to change them. We have the labor, but certainly not the jobs and socio-economic upkeep they need. All this is exactly why India still has 14% of its urban population below the poverty line. Solutions? We've listed them out in the article below. What's your take on the points we've mentioned? Is there something you'd like to know that we haven't covered? Let's talk about it in the comments.